how alive God is in ministry, giving us a life. So rewarding. How does a young man, so bored in church, put off by the ancient Bible, get into ministry? And it becomes the most rewarding thing he can imagine. I'd like to share how much God can give us a life, whoever we are, whatever our abilities, when we start investing in the God of providence. Guidance. In the Bible, you see God leading Israel, the former slaves, through a wilderness, into the promised land. Praises push down the walls of Jericho, find their destiny in the land of Canaan. But does God explicitly guide us to some promised land today? Should I stay another year in Japan? They wanted me to. I'd been teaching at a Christian English school, language classes, Bible classes. But I want to get back to America and start my real life, my real career. Now, as a young man, I just read a story about direct guidance from God. So I gave it a shot. Okay, God, you can tell me clearly in some way, Japan or the U.S. Started praying each day. Give me clear signs, reasons. Well, after a couple of weeks, the nudges did go in one direction. Be a servant man right here. After all, you met a guy on the train who wanted to discover the Bible. He's your only Christian contact right now. Okay, another year here, same work, same teaching. But I felt like thanking God ahead of time for some new phase in my life. That was because, looking back, I could see that every time God led me clearly through a decision about where to go, He opened up a new level of what I did. A little later, the English school's director is back from sabbatical, calls me into his office. He'd like me to make films for his evangelistic meetings because I had a mass media degree. Plop, right on my lap. Wow, making films had been the big someday dream for so long. Never thought it would start in Japan. But after God's guidance, stay here, I would have an opportunity to create all kinds of films, dramas, documentaries, pantomimes. The beginning of my career. Felt like I was in a well-plotted novel. Here's something else about Bible miracles. You see, God takes broken, inferior things and fluffs them into something great. Moses, desert rock, turns into a fountain of water. Elijah, an iron axe head is made to swim in Jordan. Wild ravens deliver bread. Today, can God make something crushed really work? This was one of the first films I wrote and directed. Happened in Japan. Haruo and Seiji were doing a good job of acting out the parts of a new Christian and his skeptical friend. Kaz, the Bible teacher, who translated my script, was helping out. The film, Seedling, was my attempt to show that God is active and knowable. I was also hoping it would help solidify the faith of Haruo and Seiji, both new believers. Last night of filming, squeezing in the final retakes because the camera had to be back in another city the following day. Seiji redoes a line down on a low table, lit up, roll, but the camera sputters and skips. I groan. Check all the wires, all the batteries, switch and lock. Everything seems okay. Shake the film cartridge. Okay, lights, second take. Seiji is into his line, but the camera still rattles unevenly. Please, not now. Just a few little pickup shots and the film is done. Desperate, I take out the old batteries. Seem fine. Insert a new set into the camera. Lights, take 3. Camera stutters again. Okay. Let me roll a minute of film in case something is jammed in the cartridge. Take 4. Roll a minute, steady, no go. Camera sputters, doggedly erratic. My head goes hot and blank. No more switches or cables to fiddle with. Kaz makes a suggestion. Let's pray about it. So the four of us kneel together, tell the Lord about our genuine need, put our trust in His abilities. We finish praying, look at each other. I stare at the camera. Nothing else I can do. Take 5. Action. The camera makes such a melodious purr in my ear. The chronic sputtering is gone. After, we're all shouting together, slapping each other on the back. We shot without a hitch the rest of the evening, completed the film. Well, I was anxious to see our footage, of course. Back to the edit bay. First take, picture frame, jumped and skipped. Sound, wondered, out of sync. Second take, third, fourth, same. Then the fifth take, picture and sound, perfect. I rushed off to tell them all. Oh, these new believers, Haro and Seiji, had heard plenty about the God of heaven, but now they say, we've never experienced Him brush by so close. He seemed to be projected up there, waving at us on the fifth take. For me now, it's been decades of writing and producing for Christian television, years of one-man presentations across America, like Chosen Garment, the whole Bible in one act. I find it remarkable that the God of heaven used the Word to give someone like me a wonderful life. That's why I urge every person to invest in ministry. Invest in your gift. God has such a life for each one of us.